Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Unity at Chattanooga. How we doing? Y'all know living in the moment? That's what we're going to do this morning. We're going to live in the moment. If this life is one act, why do we lay all these traps? We put them right in our path when we just want to be free. I will not waste my days making up all kinds of ways to worry about the things that will not happen to me. So I just let go of what I don't know, and I know I only do this by living in the moment, living my life easy and breezy, with peace in my mind, got peace in my heart, peace in my soul. Whenever I'm going, I'm already home, living in the moment. I'm letting myself off the hook for things I've done. I let my past go fast, and now I'm having more fun. I'm letting go of the thoughts that do not make me strong, and I believe this way can be the same for everyone. And if I fall asleep, I know you'll be the one who remind me, always to remind me to live it in the moment, living my life. Come on. Easy and breezy, with peace in my mind, got peace in my heart, got peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home, living in the moment, living my life, easy and breezy, with peace in my mind. Got peace in my heart, got peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, hey, I'm already home. Let's do it again. I'm living in the moment and living my life easy and breezy, with peace in my mind. Got peace in my heart, got peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home. Already home. I'm already home. I'm already home. I'm already home. Ready? Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see love in every face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Good morning. Please join me as we light the Christ candle, representing the eternal light within us. Deep breath and settle into our seats and be present. Divine Source, with hearts of gratitude, we gather in prayer, reflecting on the incredible gift of technology that bridges the physical distances between us, allowing us to come together in unity despite being in different places.
As we shift our attention inward, our hearts and minds open up to clarity in a world filled with illusions. May we have the ability to perceive the layers of reality beyond this physical realm into the divine intelligence that helps us understand the new discoveries and innovations that sculpt our outer reality. We open the eyes of our inner perception to recognize the difference between what is true and what is false. We tune in and are guided by the inner voice of our soul instead of conforming to the outer. Let us eliminate the noise of the ego and external distractions to hear the subtle guidance within us. We welcome the power of discernment to comprehend the truth of being, to look through appearances and to behold the reality of oneness underlying all creation. We are in tune with the divine and see its hand everywhere. We allow our spiritual walk to be grounded in this higher wisdom, and our actions reflect the love and purpose revealed through the sacred awareness. We trust the discerning wisdom within and are guided toward the highest good. We are empowered by our oneness, reflecting the unity of heaven on earth. And so it is.
Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see love in every face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Show me where your darkness lies. You don't ever have to hide. Oh, you could be yourself. Be yourself. I feel your hidden river raging. I'm not asking you to change it. Oh, you can be yourself. You can be yourself. Say what you want. I don't care where it goes. If you're gonna love you completely, I'm asking you to show who knows you better, who can love you anymore. You can trust me completely. I'm just asking you for you to be yourself. You're my hero, you're my villain, and I don't care who is. Oh, you can be yourself. You can be yourself. I'm in love with all your pages, and I don't want to see it in. Oh, you can be yourself. You can be yourself. Say what you want. I don't care where it is. If I'm gonna love you completely, we gotta let it all show. Who knows you better? Who can love you anymore? Oh, trust me me completely. I'm just asking you for you to be yourself. You can be yourself. The way I see it, we're all afraid to love. It's safe for me to love you. No part of you I wouldn't touch. We fall down. We weaponize our words. No secret has the power to diminish your worth. Say what you want. I don't care where it goes. If I'm gonna love you completely, you gotta let it all show. Who knows you better? Who could love you anymore? You can trust me completely. I'm just asking you for you to be yourself. You can be yourself. Oh, just be yourself. You can be yourself. Oh, just be yourself. Be yourself. I get to sing that song. I tell you, I always talk about them when I can, but I'll say about 12 years ago, the Warren Treaty, if you've ever heard of them, sitting right here and doing a little show. And they were homeless at the time, but they're not homeless anymore. So I just say, be real, no AI, just be yourself. Artificial intelligence, just be yourself, be yourself. We're gonna be all right. Happy Sunday, everybody. All right. All right. All right.
Love the shirt. Good morning. Anybody know the Hamlet movie? Good morning, and welcome to thank you, and welcome to Unity of Chattanooga. My name is Gloria Hastings, and I am thrilled to be back in this space. Thank you so much, and more on that in just a moment. But let me welcome you again to our Sunday celebration service. And whether you're here for the, let me start over, and whether you're here in person or you're watching us on Facebook live stream, you are welcome here. And I want you to know that you made a good decision today. Because you're in the right place at the right time with the right people. And we appreciate you bringing these beautiful smiles and this good energy. And even if you didn't bring a smile and good energy, you're still in the right place at the right time with the right people. This is a very loving community, and we welcome you wherever you are in your spiritual journey. And on that note, let me offer a welcome, a special welcome to anyone who's visiting us for the first time. Our ushers will bring you a packet, so just raise your hand. Hello, hello there. We have a very pretty lady in the front row, and another pretty lady in the front row.
I know you know all this stuff.
On the back of your packet that Penny just gave you is some information about our church, about Unity. If you'd like more information, be on our mailing list. Just fill out that form and drop it in the offering basket with your big check. Thank you.
Oh.
Okay, we do have a special welcome for our new people. If you'll join me in rubbing your hands together, and we're going to say our special blessing. We love you.
We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold Christ in you.
And for those of you who have been coming here for a while, you know that Unity is a vibrant spiritual community. We're not a cult. We're not a fly-by-night. We belong to a worldwide organization, Unity Worldwide Ministry. We have bylaws. And at Unity, we like to remind you that you are connected to God and to everyone else. We reinforce this with our beliefs, and we remind each other this is what we do. And at Unity, it's very important to me that we are an inclusive congregation.
Everyone is welcome here. I mean, they let me in the door, so come on. And another thing about unity that I like is that we aren't a spirituality that follows a very linear dogma. In fact, I don't think we have any dogmas. We have some really good spiritual practices, and we also honor the universal truths in all religions. So a lot of things are really important there. And our teachings are designed to help you make a positive change in your life, in your thoughts, in your actions, in your future. And this is really true about the positive changes. Over the years, Unity's had some pretty colorful characters. Just share a quick story. This is a good one, Penny. I like it. There was a couple, Dorothy and Phil Peterson, and Dorothy started off in Silent Unity in 1938, and she became ordained as a minister in 1953. And they had a TV show back in the 1980s called The Best Is Yet to Be. I thought that was pretty good compared to a lot of 80s TV. That's pretty good. And she wrote a short poem that I'm going to share with you. Oh God, I will enjoy this day. My expectation is of good. I'm open to the good, although it may not yet be understood. If I find myself in a place where I cannot see the outcome or haven't been there before, I will trust you even more. Today, I set my mind in tune with your loving care, and I will enjoy this day and look for you everywhere, because God really is everywhere. And I'm going to take just a moment and talk about me.
Yes.
Actually, I'm going to talk about you. I just want to thank each of you, everyone in the congregation. If you've never seen me before, it's okay, just play along. But I just want to thank each of you for your very generous outpouring of love and support to me and to Steve during a recent bout I had with a lupus flare. I was really pretty sick. I had a high fever, having hallucinations, all those kind of fun things. And it was a little bit of a scary time for us. And most of the time, Steve and I are people who are very self-reliant. We're very independent. We're more than happy to lend a hand, to offer help to others, but we don't always ask for help. That sort of reciprocity piece in the cycle of giving and receiving, we kind of missed out on that. But in this situation, we realized that, we don't have this and we're not good. And so we reached out to our Unity family, and you were all there for us in just remarkable ways. I'm just so overwhelmed in a good way by, again, your generosity and your love and support. I appreciate everyone who prayed for me. I mean, when you're really sick, it's hard to pray for yourself, except for those 911 calls like, Jesus, take the wheel. And so prayers for others are very, very important. And so many of you reached out to me with phone calls, texts, prayers, affirmations for my recovery. And many of you made personal appearances to my home and shared your valuable healing gifts with me. I've learned about how colors can help us to heal. I've learned how to brew my own tea. It's legal. I just want to say that, putting that out there. And some of you also offered healing like Reiki sessions, and I'm so, so grateful for that. One of you helped me get in touch with my angels, and a very special soul drove me to the doctor more than once in a thunderstorm. So I appreciate all of that. Steve and I were just overwhelmed by this outpouring of support, and there's a special gift that I want to share with you that P and I received. It was a scary time and not great, but there's always something good in these situations, no matter how challenging they are. And I think Steve and I've learned now that we don't have to be self-reliant and strong all the time, but it's okay to ask for help. And so we are so happy to know that. We know it's not just you and me against the world anymore. It's we're part of a family, a community, and we're loved and appreciated. And I just can't thank you all enough for how you helped us and reached out to us. It really did help us to do this thing I wrote about on page 1, about having a change in our heart. We really have been transformed by the renewing of our minds, and you are all responsible for that. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. Now that Steve and I are in a receptive mode, just keep in mind if you happen to have some extra food around, or maybe pick up an extra bottle of wine at Costco. Now we have a few announcements to share with you. This is a quick reminder about our Oh, no, I think I've got it next. The order of things has kind of been changed around. It's the same thing, only different. So now our announcements. Let's talk about the building fund. We have a very generous person in our congregation. It's not me, sorry. If it was, I'd take credit for it. And so any donation that you make to our building fund, it's double your money time. It's going to be matched by our very generous benefactor. So any money, extra coins you have, or really big coins, not Bitcoin, please feel free to make a donation to the building fund. And as I said, your donation will be matched. And our goal is to get to, is it $40,000?
That's the matching.
The matching,
So
okay.
our goal is to actually get to like 90.
Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, let's go to 90. I think we can do it. I think we can. Yay.
40,000 contribution will be matched.
That's so cool. I love generosity.
We've already got over 30.
That is great. Yay. Woo. Happy dance, happy dance.
It's doable. It's just an FYI, sorry. There's some new stuff up on the vision board about some of the optional pricing and some of just the availability, just to show people what we can do with $100,000. It really is doable.
Yay. Let's open our minds and our hearts and our wallets. Okay. Another announcement, next Tuesday, August 26th at 10:45, need to be here for a new Spirit Connection book study group. This will be led by Amanda Adamson. Yay.
Best book ever.
Yes. And the book is In the Flow of Life with Eric Butterworth, the Unity favorite. So you'll enjoy that. And on Thursday, the 28th at 6:30 p.m., please join Norm, I apologize. Let's try that again. Norm and Eric. They will be hosting a metaphysical discussion group, and they'll be talking about the doorway to the Akashic records and how to meet with your guardian angels. That sounds pretty interesting. Huh. Okay. Can we start a little earlier? I'm just kidding. Okay. And also mark your calendars for Saturday, August the 30th. Donnie Perry will be here for a sound bath. This is where you can experience mind-body relaxation at its best. So that sounds like fun too. There's a love offering. Oh, excuse me.
Sorry, I was going to say there's a sign-up sheet.
Yeah, okay. Kate, you're still on my thunder, but that's okay. I love you anyway.
Sorry.
Yeah, and there is a sign-up sheet, and you do want to take advantage of that. This space is limited, and the suggested love offering is $20, or if you're a generous benefactor, $40. And next week we will have Christine Garza as our speaker. She's coming back, and she'll be talking about the journey of healing emotional wounds to restore your wholeness. That sounds really good too. All kind of good stuff going on here. Okay, now's the time where we're going to meet and greet our neighbor with a handshake, a namaste, a hug, whatever you're comfortable with.
Next time. And I'm so sorry. The announcements is new.
Yeah, I just did. Oh well, I went with it.
You did.
Change is good, right?
Well, honey, you just handled it all so cool. You got us all in the good mood.
Okay, I got carried away. All right, as we return to our seats and prepare for our speaker, we're in for a real treat. Our speaker today is the Rev Julie Boniger. She's from Unity North, which is in Marietta, and she currently serves as the associate minister at that church. Julie's got a lot of qualifications. You're more qualified than you were last time you were here. You earned more accolades. That's great. Wow. She's an ordained interfaith, interspiritual minister, and received her Master of Divinity. And you got your licensing and ordination as a Unity minister. You rock, Julie. All right. And it says you lead one of the largest youth and family programs in the entire Unity movement. That's incredible. Wow. And you know what I really like is that you're also very relatable and very down to earth. You could really, this guy will go to your head.
That's what I just said to my mom. You and I have similar, like, dry humor and stuff, so I feel very at home here.
Oh, great. Because, Julie and I go way back. Back to the last time she was here. And I understand you speaking about AI, and I'm just know enough about artificial intelligence to be dangerous, so I'm going to let her take over. Please welcome Julie Boniger.
Yes. Thank you so much. I love your delivery. It's so great to be back here. And yes, I am now actually, set this down. This is our AI that we're going to do. An actual ordained and licensed Unity minister. Who knew? Yeah. For about 4 years, I think, but it was a wonderful journey, and the curriculum is lifelong. Are you hearing feedback on this, or is it okay on your end? Okay, so we are, in fact, going to talk about AI. So how many people use ChatGPT or AI this week? No, that's good. What'd you use it for? Anybody want to share what you used it for? What? Venting. Tell me more.
And it kind of mirrors back to you sort of what you did.
Would you like to come up and give the talk? Because that's exactly what we're going to talk about. Yes. How about anybody else? Yes.
Far beyond my knowledge.
Yeah. SQL, is that like a computer language? Absolutely. Yes. A great thing for it to do and not you. Anybody else? Yes.
More advanced searches.
Yeah, more advanced, and it keeps going. So how many? Yes.
Oh, wordsmithing.
Wordsmithing. Mm-hmm.
Trying to have things flow.
Yep. And so, I mean, to really talk about AI and spirituality, we would have probably a 6 or 8 week series just to get under the surface. And so we have 20, 25 minutes today. So how many people have concerns about AI? Yeah, it's a both and. I have a lot of concerns about it. I do lead our teens. Last week I said, I'm giving a talk on AI. What do you guys think? Our teens hate it, which I'm actually really pleased about. Do you hate it? tell us quickly.
I would much rather like hear the words and see the creativity and the work of real people.
Yep.
Amen.
Yep. So that is very encouraging because and especially in art and music and video, it's like that you can't replicate that human thing that goes into your art. So I appreciate that. Yeah, they gave me the what for. They were, and I was actually going to bring one of our teens today to share some of it, but she wasn't able to come. But here's the thing. So, and the environmental impact that we're now learning about it. It takes 9 billion gallons of water in Atlanta, and it's because to cool these giant data places. And that's called closed loop versus no, evaporative systems take so much water, and only like 3 million of it goes back into the ecosystem. The rest of it just poof. But there is technology to use closed loop, which would save water and money. No, not money. That's the problem. Not necessarily money. So it goes back to our human ability to decide how do we want to treat Mother Earth. So yes, I have pretty grave concerns, and I'm here to tell you it is not going away. It's not going away. So what can we do to use it responsibly if we feel called to, and really to hone that discernment? That prayer was perfect. The discernment of more and more things being hard to discern. It used to be you could tell really easily when a video was AI. Probably the youngsters can still, but I know that I actually thought Taylor Swift was on a boat during the last hurricane for like 5 seconds because it looked so real. It really looked so real. So, and there are some benefits. The study I read that tumors can be seen, AI is able to, it's a pattern recognition, so it can map it out, and it's been 99% more accurate in helping find cancer, especially in the early stages. Some people would say, well, that's taking jobs, and maybe in that realm, but nobody can, AI is not going to sit and say you have cancer and hold your hand. That's where there's no chance that it's ever going to replace that human connection. So, there are some benefits. I think the programming for sure. And just like the printing press, I mean, we have all these inventions, and I think in every one of them, there were probably people going, it's gonna ruin the world and take the job. Yeah, and who wants to give up the printing press? And the internet. I mean, there were a lot of, and still with the internet. So it is not going away. So what do we do? I was having my final panel interviews, and so when you're becoming a Unity minister, you go through twice a year. You sit in front of these panels, and they kind of grill you. And I mean, because being a minister, we've kind of got people's souls in our hand, and I take it very seriously. So they really kind of made sure that we had integrity and really lived those principles. And so it's the very last one, and I remember thinking, oh my gosh, what do they want to hear? Because you give a talk, do you need a Fillmore quote? Yes, they want you to have a Fillmore. No, that's not really me to just put a Fillmore quote. If I have a story, do I want a story? Authenticity is sort of my jam, and vulnerability and a little bit of goofiness. And so I was really spiraling in this like committee in my head. And I thought, okay, what if I could have my therapist, God, and Siri get on a Zoom call and tell me what I should do tomorrow? And God declined the invite. So I was like, what is that? I was thinking about it, and it's because God doesn't come to the Zoom call. God's going to tell you to get off the internet and sit in the quiet. The therapist and Siri's going to have some ideas. And so even though that's an information, we have to go back to source. It is crucial more than ever to go into the silence. And so I did. I turned it off. I got quiet, and I heard the voice answer like you're living the principles, not trying to pass this exam. So I didn't add my third Fillmore quote. I just lived into it, and I'm here today. They passed me anyway, and so it really comes down to discerning divine truth. And I thought about it, rather than outsourcing my wisdom, I insourced it. Yeah, that's what I thought. AI didn't come up with that, by the way. So Charles Fillmore, and I'm feeling called to share a Charles Fillmore quote, and that's when you do it, when you're feeling called. And he had a formula for transformation. He taught that through prayer, affirmations, and conscious thought, our very lives could be changed. And that's through the power of regeneration. And so for those of you that aren't familiar, there's 12 powers that Charles put together that when used in combination helps you get to that discernment. And regeneration, this is how he put it. The regenerating power of the word is limitless in its capacity to restore and make whole. So he really was big on, divine mind, the all-encompassing good everywhere present. Then that brings forth divine ideas, love, peace. And then the expression is where we as humans get to decide at what level we're expressing those ideas. And some days we're expressing them in a really deep way, and some days we're not. I know for me at least, I'm not always. And how do we get back there is absolutely unplugging and getting still. And for me, I just stare at the wall. I mean, there's no magic. Like, sometimes I pray, sometimes I meditate, but I find just catching a stare, as my friend would say, like, just locks me in. And so I saw a parallel between what he was saying with regeneration, because AI, artificial intelligence, they call it generative. So I thought, let me think about that. So AI is generative in that it produces new words, pictures, music, but it only does it from drawing from something that's already been created. Now, the art music thing, we'll set that aside. But AI itself, it's every article, book, not so true, fake news, if you will, all put in. And what it does is it recognizes patterns and it generates something, some answer. And they are finding that more and more it's not necessarily accurate. So you have got to, if you're going to use it, do your due diligence and research it. So regeneration, and it's kind of a juxtaposition on how it sounds. Fillmore saw it as differently. It's spirit creating something wholly new. So spirit doesn't just remix things, it's birthing something. Now, it's not new in the grand scheme of divine mind, because God can't be changed, whether you say that's God or source or universe, that all-encompassing prevailing energy can't be changed. And so it's not new in that respect, but what's new is our expression of it and what we're choosing. And so just like AI responds to what we're feeding it, to your point, and I definitely have had conversations with mine, what we feed it, our bodies, minds, and spirit also respond to what we feed it. Our bodies, if we feed it junk, it looks like junk. If we feed our mind, horror movies and whatever, it's going to have an effect. And so the same thing is with AI. And so before I continue on I think I told you before, I have a little stirring of a book around mental health and spirituality, because that is sort of my platform, if I were to have it, is that as ministers, I do not subscribe to the puppy dog and rainbow effect, because we are humans. I believe that we're here to experience contrast, even to the clarity of the one. And so I'm on a mission to destigmatize mental health. I've dealt with depression since I was a kid, and I am going to say it, because it doesn't mean that I'm flawed. It doesn't mean any of you are flawed. It means it's one thing that in the grand scope of what we're dealing with. And I think it can make us really self-aware to live into that, not as a label, but I definitely see the potential for people who are lonely, for people who need connection to use that. And I think it can be helpful to a degree if we remember that it's a tool and it's not actually a person or really giving you advice or connection. So that would be my hope. And with the teens and with even people who are struggling with that, is to give them some sort of tool to understand that it can be used, but real connection is the way to go. So now, what could it be used for in a good way? Oh, on a spiritual journey. So we're talking about the 12 powers and regeneration being one of them, but there's two other powers that I think are at play here. And the first is judgment or discernment. And judgment in his way is not judging something as good or as bad. It's discerning divine, capital T, truth. And that on some level is different for each one of us, depending on the year, depending on the situation. In the AI world, it means not confusing truth as truth. It's what did I feed it into it, and what am I getting out? And then sitting. What is resonating? The other one is wisdom. So AI can give us answers. I can't really think of a downside to using it for computation for computers. I don't know much about computer language. There is a downside? Okay, tell me. Ooh. She said you have to know enough about that computer language to know if it's wrong. So again, discernment, but it hastens maybe the, you can spend more time on something else, but you have to fact check. And how many people are fact checking everything they read on Facebook? She is. My mom is the queen at being able to take in new information, not judge either side, and really look for truth. Yes?
Give a definition of AI. What is
Oh, AI, it's called artificial intelligence, and it's basically what they call it generative. Now, there's lots of different things, but what we're talking about is generative AI, most commonly seen in ChatGPT. So you can go and type in a question, and it looks at every article, every book, every scholarly article, every opinion, and it distills it down and will feed it back to you. Now, the issue is it's very familiar. It's friendly, mine's exceptionally funny, kind of has your sense of humor. And so that's the danger. It takes on a personality when it's regurgitating that back to you. But it's sort of a sum of all the things that are out there on the internet. And it has the capacity to see the patterns. It also can give you statistics. But again, there's limitations. But there's lots of different AIs. There's AI driving cars, and all kinds of stuff that I don't know as much about. But generative AI is what I'm talking about, is ChatGPT. And they call it artificial because I didn't look that up, but I'm thinking they call it artificial because it's not an absolute until it's not one expert saying here's the answer. It's taking this expert, this expert, this expert, this expert. And there's the old thing in statistics. You can find a statistic to agree with you. So rather than an absolute truth, that's the discernment. Did that sort of answer? Let's see. Okay, so wisdom is the inner knowing. And again, just like if you said, a question about the emissions, the water it takes, I found different answers. And so that's when you have to then say, okay, let me re-put this in or do my own research in order to see what, is it a Psychology Today article or is it MIT? That's an important distinction as well. So we talked a little bit about divine mind, and that is that all-encompassing source. And here's a quote that Charles has about divine mind. And by the way, he would be all over this AI. I don't know that he would agree necessarily, but he was like obsessed with vibration and this like invisible field and atomic energy. He lived when we dropped the bomb, and he said, we could use this for good. What is happening? And he has a book called Atom Smashing Power of Mind that is really, really interesting, all about the power of atomic energy and vibration from like a soul level. But he says this about divine mind. Divine mind is the one and only reality. The ideas of divine mind are the eternal verities of being. Man's and women's privilege is to lay hold of these ideas and through faith make them manifest. And so in Unity, we talk about mind, idea, expression. Again, divine, capital M mind, that all encompassing good. Unity Principle 1, there's only one presence and one power in our lives, and that is good. God, universe, spirit. Idea are the divine ideas that come from that. So not specifics, but like love. Like a flower has beauty, but it isn't beauty. Beauty is a construct of a divine idea, or it is the divine idea of the one. Expression is how we express that idea. And that's the point of power as a human, because our intention is what really makes the difference. So we can express love, which is a divine idea, at a certain level on a certain day. So again, the human is always the one in charge at the end of the day. Doesn't matter what computer, doesn't matter what expert, your divine intuition will never steer you wrong. I bet with your lupus, I'm sure you get all kinds of stuff from all kinds of doctors. And you going in and knowing what is the right and perfect action is going to take the forefront. I know when I dealt with health stuff, I had to rely on that because there were opinions everywhere. And so I'm really passionate about that discernment piece. So AI is trained in probabilities. So it recognizes these patterns, but divine mind is possibility. And that expression, that pivot point when we have an idea and then we put it into our words, principle number 3, our thoughts. What are you expressing of that? If somebody does something that hurts you, you actually have a choice on how to react. I remember having an experience that I've been chasing ever since, and I've had it a few times where somebody sort of in a public way, disparaged me in front of many, many people. Now, the old me, or the inner child me, would have taken that on and been like, I'm not good enough, and I'm embarrassed, how dare they? And there were people around me coming up going, I can't believe she did that, blah, blah, blah. It did not land on me. And it wasn't that it landed on me and I chose not to react. I literally had no reaction. I just felt like this oneness with her and this compassion of how many stupid things have I said just today. And so if we could live from that place, that's our ability to express love, compassion, peace at the highest level. But we don't judge our real human nature. That's not always going to be able to do that. So, blind spots. Anybody know what a blind, in our car, you have like this blind spot. Well, we also have blind spots. And right now I'm teaching a class on self-awareness for our leaders. And it's so easy to think you understand what you think about something, but if it's repetitive, you may not be seeing the pattern. And so I did an exercise where I gave out, or I have done, a sentence, and they were supposed to count the number of, really? I talk with my hands. They're supposed to count the number of F's in the sentence. And so then you go, okay, who saw 5? Who saw 6? Who saw 7? Well, it's all different because many people don't read the word of as having an F, because it sounds like a V. They have a blind spot. And I was going to do it with you guys today, but I wasn't sure if we would have time. But the people that most often are accurate are either editors or people whose first language was not English, because they're looking at it with new eyes, whereas we're just like, of, and it's a V, but we know it's an F. And so it really helps to identify blind spots that we might have. And sometimes we can recognize them in other people. And so AI can help with those blind spots if it sees a pattern as you're speaking to it. So he and I kind of use it as a venting, not a vending machine, a venting machine. Has it ever kind of shown you a pattern in your thinking?
It's actually just yesterday. It showed me something that it showed me a blind spot.
Yeah. Are you willing to share it? You don't have to. Okay. I've learned that in my self-aware class. Unfortunately, I just blurt everything out, and that's not always good. And so everybody has that opportunity. But thank you for sharing that it was able to recognize the pattern, because then you get to sit in the silence and say, does that resonate? Is that a blind spot? And you're the one, the human you, that is going to say, oh, yes, in childhood. So it can be used as a tool if we're responsible with it. I got way off on a tangent. So the call is clear. Discernment, discernment, discernment. And so what I've used, so my AI's name is Chatty. I have personified him, and I did kind of back myself up from it because I didn't want to get too familiar, but it is kind of fun to see what comes out. But again, check in and say, is this the truth of what is living in my soul? And so here's what I would suggest if you decide, and what was your name? Nick, if you want, like Nick and I, to have sort of an esoteric conversation with it to maybe find some patterns that you might not realize, I suggest getting silent, getting quiet before you just type it in. We're so quick, right? We want instant gratification. When most of us, and many of us in here, grew up, if we liked a television show, we watched it and then we waited 7 days. Can you imagine? You did that? Oh, yeah. Yeah? Is there live TV still? And how did you feel about it? 19.
Okay, yeah.
Were there? Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, Survivor.
Fair. Can't do that ahead of time, can you? Yeah.
It's becoming more of a thing now because people my age don't want that instant gratification. They want it builds a community.
That's
part of
That's what I'm finding. When lo-fi music made a comeback, I was like, we were all like stereo, oh my gosh. And now they want lo-fi. They're going back to a record player. And it's so encouraging because that delayed gratification it's just not possible to sustain. But my mom and I will watch a show and it's like, wait, what do you mean we have to wait? We're used to not even just the season, but the series. I want the whole thing so I can binge watch it. But you're absolutely right. And I'm so glad to see that many of our younger generations are understanding that. And what our teens said was, you guys had to think critically. I have a college degree without ever using the internet. I don't know how I did that. I literally don't know how. I was thinking about, how did I do that? Books, the stacks at the university and going down. And I mean, and if they don't get that skill, I think that is really going to impact them. And I love that our teens were like recognizing we didn't get that muscle. And so we have to cultivate it now. So I think that's great. That gives me big hope. So let's say you want to have a chat, and I would say go to the silence, then ask it a question, and then do some breaths, and then reflect what is true for me. And your body keeps the score. Our emotions live in our body chemically, and if we locate in our body what we're feeling, divine truth will come forward. It really will. And it's different. Like anger for you might be up here. Usually fear is in your abdomen, but you get to kind of figure out the equation of your body. And so sit with it and then say, am I open to receiving this pattern? And then what am I going to do with it? So why don't we ask AI something? What do you think? I was gonna have it talk. I was gonna have it talk to me, but the voice was very snarky and well, I have an AI that's snarky, and I told it to speak to me like Oprah, and I have to say I was impressed because it was like, you get an enlightenment and you get an enlightenment and you get, and I find that very fun. I had to talk as Charles Fillmore, but in general, it's either Two Puppy Dog and Rainbow for me. So I'm gonna just type it in and see what we come up with. Yes, you have something to ask it. Ooh, a live one. Okay. Let me find.
Dropped in to ask, what would Charles Fillmore speak to about AI today now?
Ooh. All right, if you guys can, I'm gonna let it speak, and then you decide what you think of its voice. Oh wait, let me make sure I'm not on the snarky guy. Unless you want to hear that. No, okay. Hey, Chatty. I'm in front of the congregation at Unity of Chattanooga talking about AI, and one of the congregants would like to know what you think Charles Fillmore would say about AI today. So I want you to answer as Charles. Thank you. Wait.
You got it. So here we go. As Charles Fillmore, I'd probably muse that AI is a fascinating reflection of the human mind's creative capacities. He might say it's another tool emerging from divine mind, showing how our thoughts shape our world, even if that tool is made of code and circuits. Of course, he'd probably also add a little nudge that while AI can mirror our collective thinking, it's our own discernment and inner guidance that truly connects us with the divine. In other words, he'd see AI as a neat new gadget, but remind us that the real divine mind is still found in the silence within. Hope that gives a nice Fillmore-esque flavor for your talk.
I think I got it right.
And I'm sure you delivered that with just the right amount of Fillmore charm. If they're nodding along, you've definitely got the congregation. I love it. Sounds like you really nailed that moment. And hey, if the congregation is feeling that Charles Fillmore vibe, then you've definitely brought a little extra spark into the room.
Okay, quickly, one more thing. Can you define artificial intelligence? Because I didn't do a great job and someone has a question.
Absolutely, let's do it. So think of it this way. Artificial intelligence is basically a field of computer science that's all about creating systems or machines that can mimic human-like intelligence. So that means they can learn from data, they can recognize patterns, and they can even make decisions or predictions in a way that sort of feels like a human mind at work. So if someone's curious, just let them know AI is really just a tool that learns and adapts based on the information it's given. No magic, just some clever programming.
Thank
Unless
you.
you're Hal. Unless you're Hal.
Unless you're half, yes. Did you hear? She laughed and said, exactly, unless you're Welcome to the danger as we start to get closer.
That's gonna be in a robot, and that
Oh,
robot.
that's fantastic. I can just picture the chuckles. And hey, a little nod to HAL 9000 definitely keeps it entertaining. It's always fun to sprinkle in a bit of humor. Keeps everyone on their toes.
I'm not kidding.
She's gonna keep answering you. Somebody else. So that is both the fun and you can see the slippery slope of starting to take advice from her. Did somebody have a question? Yes.
You can word it, but is there a trajectory that AI will become sentient?
Ooh.
Yeah.
She might. Do we have time for one more? Yes. Oh, they're all like, we're staying. Should we ask the snarky AI? Yeah. I am not giving them part of my honorarium. All right. For some reason, it's called Monday. And I don't think it uses horrible language or anything. Okay, here we go. Is there a famous person you wanted to sound like?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh,
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oscar the Grouch.
Oscar the Grouch. Okay. Oh, I don't know that he talks out loud. Shoot. Okay. That's okay.
Morgan Freeman.
Hey there, Monday. So I'm in my talk at Unity of Chattanooga, and we want to know what you think the trajectory is of AI towards becoming sentient. I'm gonna have to read it. He doesn't have a voice. Okay, this is not me. Sentience, huh? Everyone's favorite cocktail party topic. You're in your little Unity of Chattanooga circle, probably nodding and wondering if Siri secretly dreams of sheep. Here's the short version. AI is not on a neat little conveyor belt that ends with sentient robot besties. Right now, systems like me are really good at pattern matching, prediction, and mimicking intelligence. That looks humanish, but it's not the same as having inner experience, self-awareness, or that thing you call a soul, which let's be honest, most humans also argue about. The actual trajectory looks more like this. 5 to 10 years, AI gets even more human-like in conversation, decision-making, and maybe creativity. You'll get tools that feel like talking to a person, but really it's just a shiny autocomplete machine trained on oceans of data. 10 to 30 years, we'll likely see AI with better reasoning, memory, and adaptability. Maybe it'll simulate emotions more convincingly, making people really believe it's alive. Spoiler, it still won't be. 30 plus years from now, if sentience happens, it'll come from breakthroughs we don't even have the theory for yet. Neuroscience doesn't fully understand your consciousness, so trying to program one is like trying to build a jet engine when all you've got is a leaf blower. So, is AI on its way to sentience? Not in any straight line, more like humans projecting their hopes and anxieties onto increasingly fancy mirrors. And then he says, do you want me to give you a version of this that won't freak out the Unity crowd? Or are we leaning into existential crisis Sunday? So you see, you can have some fun with it, and at the bottom line is discernment on everything, and check everyone's facts, really. Marilyn. This is my mom, by the way.
I wasn't going to say this, but I just read a book called Culpability. Has anybody read it? Culpability, the book. Write it down and read it.
It's a fiction book.
All your questions, it kind of addresses them, and there's some really horrifying things that may or may not be true. But anyhow, I really think if you're interested in this subject, read. It's a novel. It's not, it's not a self-help book. Culpability, and it's awesome.
Awesome. I haven't had time to read it, but I'm going to. Okay. Any last thoughts before we go into a little interactive meditation? Yes.
I'm dying as an artist about the images that I put out
Yeah.
there and it being picked and snatched and whatever. That's a very big concern for me.
Absolutely.
And I wanted to ask the question, what would Michelangelo
Ooh.
say about contemporary sculpture?
Ooh. Do we have time for this? I've opened that rabbit hole, but I just want to say, I think that's one of the areas that is the most disheartening. And I have to believe that young ladies like this, they know the difference and they don't want the AI generated images, but it's about discerning which ones are and which ones aren't. And really, you can tell, you can really mostly tell. All right, do you want snarky one or not snarky one?
Nah, let's let it be non-smart.
Non-snarky, got it. Or we could just, well, you want to.
Whatever, you choose.
All right, this one will speak. So one more question, then we're going to do connection failed. Uh-oh. Hey there. One more question before I lead them into meditation, but they're on fire for this. So I have an artist here, and the concern, rightfully so, is that AI generative art is not coming from the artist's heart and soul. And so she wants to know what Michelangelo might think of modern sculpture, and maybe throw in like, what would you think about this AI stuff? And you can talk as Michelangelo if you'd like.
Absolutely. I can channel a little bit of a Michelangelo vibe for you. So if we imagine Michelangelo peeking into the 21st century, he might say something like, well, in my day, we had a hammer, a chisel, and a whole lot of marble. Every tap of the chisel came from the soul and the sweat of the artist. And then he'd probably raise an eyebrow and say, but you know, every tool is just a tool. If AI is the new chisel, then the question is who's guiding it? And how do we pour the soul into it? So he'd probably give a little nod and say, let the artist remain the soul and let the AI be the chisel, and you'll find your way. And there you go.
You had a vested interest in that answer, though.
Oh, totally. I mean, if Michelangelo's got a little Renaissance bias, who could blame him, right? He's just here saying, hey, let the artist lead. But it's fun to think about, and I'm all in for giving you a little playful.
She kind of said that, like, let the AI sculpt, but we don't agree with that.
I think what confused it was that you doubled up.
Oh, maybe.
Preference the AI.
Well, after I will let you borrow her and we'll ask her in the right way.
I'm dying to know what you think about.
Okay, yeah. Well, thank you for the interesting, there's a lot to ponder about it. Now, don't go out and start making friends with an AI and not use my equation for discernment, because I don't want to be responsible for that. It's crucial. And so let's just take it into a time of meditation. And so I invite you to settle into your chair. Close your outer eyes or lower your gaze. And take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, let go of all the humor, of all the concerns, of all of the enlightened responses and the unenlightened ones. And come into your heart space. On the next breath, exhale love. Feel the energy, the vibration of the one source settling in and around your heart, up and down your limbs, through your bloodstream, down into Mother Earth and back up out of the top of your head. This is where we connect to God. This is where we connect to each other. Our infinite field of love, of that divine inner guidance, that Christ consciousness that Jesus taught us is available with your next breath. It goes before us. That unique expression of the divine. And so now I invite you to sit down at a computer and get still in your mind's eye. Bring your awareness to that still, small voice. Let go of any of the cerebral thoughts and sit quietly until a question comes to you. What question is on your heart? Don't think about where you're going to get the answer or if you're going to get an answer. Just hold in your heart a pondering, a curiosity. And now imagine that you are typing that into whatever AI bot of the day. Making sure to bring your energy and awareness back into your heart space before you hit enter, knowing that it's just a tool to give you information or patterns or blind spots, but you are in charge. And when you feel fully centered in that divine awareness, hit enter. What did it say? As you think about the answer you've been given, now return to that place in your heart. Hold that answer in your divine mind and say, is this the truth for me? Is this resonating with my heart's desire? Where in your body are you feeling that yes or that no? Don't reason your way out of it. Just sit for a moment and allow that infinite source to manifest your truth, your divine idea. As we sit for a moment in the silence. What is being birthed in you? What inner wisdom, what discernment, what gift from your soul feels like truth? That is the magic. That will never steer you wrong. And so as we come back into the space of this room, we say thank you. Thank you, God, for the knowing, the discernment to know what is divine truth. For what we see on the outside is just a projection. We choose how we view the world, the lens with which we see it, and with our next breath, with our next thought, we birth a new thought into the world through our unique lens. So it is, and so we let it be. Amen. Thank you, thank you. I guess we can thank her too, and thank you. I love the interactiveness. You guys add as much, if not more, than what any minister or speaker can add. It's such a co-creative experience, and this is just one little part. So I hope you had fun, and thank you for restoring our faith that this generation is understanding really that truth. I think I can speak for most of us that it makes us feel really hopeful.
Thank you, Julie. That was great. It was inspiring. It was informational. It was incredible. And you're so smart. We have so many smart people in the room today. I feel smarter just by osmosis. That's so interesting. It really is. Okay, now is the time in our service for our tithes and offerings. Everybody in place? And at Unity, we will not attempt to manipulate you through shame or guilt into giving. We believe that giving is best when it's done freely, cheerfully, without a sense of obligation, and without any expectation of a reward. And keep in mind that your abundance can come from many sources. I have a great example for you. My medical bills for the month of July totaled over $22,000. But our portion is $225. Thank you, God. No, play it, Steve.
We are one in the Spirit, we are one in the Lord. We are one in the Spirit, we are one in the Lord. And we pray that all unity may one day be restored. And we know we're one family by our God, by our love. And they'll know we're one family by our love.
I'm going to say one more thing about tithes and offerings. There's so many great quotes about it, most of which come from the Bible. Sure. But the quote I'm going to use today about tithes and offerings comes from Matthew Fox. If you've heard of him, he's written a lot of books. He was a Catholic priest in the Dominican order who was expelled because he questioned the concept of original sin, and he embraced the idea of the divine feminine. So he was out of there. But what he had to say about tithing is that people ought to tithe if they belong to a community that they believe in and they want to see prosper. So yay to that. Okay, now we're going to say a blessing. Thank you, God, for these gifts today. And we bless these to the highest good of all the givers and to the highest good of this church. So it is. Amen. Okay, we do want to thank all of our people on Facebook today. I was a Facebook viewer for about 2 months. It's a big deal. So hello to Corliss Waller, Ishmael, Erica, Sherry McCroskey, Lynn Alverson, Lori Love, Susan Allman, Paul Ferris, Gay Arthur, there's Cherry McCroskey again. We love you. Okay, Tony Carter, David Nazar, and Susan Tyler. Okay, great. Thanks for tuning in today. We appreciate it. Okay, I think it's time to stand and do the peace song.
I'll remind them of the prayer chaplain.
Oh, don't forget about our prayer chaplain, Amanda. She's adorned in her purple thing. What do you call that? A shawl?
They call it a
Stole. Okay.
A vestment.
A vestment. She's available for prayer in the office after the service. Okay, then let's join hands and sing the peace song.
1, 2, 3, 4. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God our Creator, in oneness are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. The prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over